Hi everybody. We went to an estate sale in Tampa this last weekend during our supposedly restful time, and we came across this suitcase, and it is full of ephemera from what I heard people talking about. Anyway, I'm really excited about opening it and seeing what's inside after hearing different people, talk about what they saw inside, and people weren't really taking anything out of it. So, as you can see, it says a miscellaneous childhood, and from what we were told, this gentleman, he was in the service for many years, and then he was in the CIA. But it does say miscellaneous childhood, and I'm going to go through it and see what we can find. Okay, let's see if I can open it. Got two dogs on my lap. Hopefully they will behave while I'm doing this. Not bark too much. Anyway, this is an old suitcase too. It is just slammed full of ephemera. So I'm gonna move the camera so that I can put it down and open it up and show you what I find. Hang on. Okay guys, so I'm hoping you can kind of see what's going on. I'll at least show the dogs are kissing. Thank you, baby. As I pull things out. So, let's see. Let's dig in. You can see it's just like full. I'm really excited. Stop licking me, please. No. So, a roadmap of Germany. A little bit. So that should be interesting. It was 30 cents. I don't know if that's reflective of the age or not, but let's see. I can find a date anywhere. I don't see a date. So that's really cool. Now, he traveled all over the world, so I know it says childhood on here, but I'm hoping I can find some other things. Here is for a nice cousin. So we have some old ephemera for like junk journaling or whatever that we can put up for auction. This was when he was a private. So, and this is from 1968 when he was a private. So here's another card. Kind of cute. Put that in an ephemera lot. At this time, looked like he lived in Baltimore. And this was sent, oh no, the person that sent it was from Baltimore. And he was in Fort Bragg, North Carolina at that time. Oops. In 1961, a receipt, looks like from a doctor. Let's see what this is. This looks really cool. Hair. Oh my gosh. So this is kind of cool. It looks like, is it Hair, the band? It looks like it's Hair from the theater, and it's all in German. So I wonder if he saw this when he was in Germany. That is really cool. It's the back, it's the front. So some of this will be cool for me to do a little bit of research on. Just some envelopes with nothing in it. Some more cards, Christmas cards. So try to put these in some lots. This card says it's from 1967 is the date that is stamped on here. So that is super cool. Oh, looks like some kind of little thing that was made, maybe by him or a grandchild. Here's another letter from 1968, still stationed in Fort Bragg. Armor Bond writing tablet. So, an old writing tablet made in the USA. And it's still got lots of blank sheets in it. That's kind of cool. A postcard from, it says, the dormitories at Oak Inn, St. Michael's, Maryland. And then we did get some other ephemera from him as well. This is from 1968. Some Catholic ephemera, some really neat stuff. Another letter from 1968. I can't wait to read these letters, especially if they're love letters. But this was a year I was born too, so kind of neat to see what kinds of things were out there whenever I was born. Hutzler's in Baltimore. Somebody must have made him this sign. That's kind of cool. There's gonna be a lot of cards in here, so that's pretty cool. I won't show you every one of them. Calvert Hall College. This was from 1968. So I'm wondering if this is either when he graduated. I wonder if he graduated from high school, because then went on into the service at that time. National Educational Development Test, grades 9 through 12. So these are the SRA tests from 1965 to 1966. This would have been some information on the SRA test. I remember taking those. Parent teachers meeting and awards convocation from 1965. That's pretty cool. Another Calvert Hall College. Was that from college too? Oh, so it was when he graduated from college. So that's pretty neat. Hospital bill. Hey guys, so I stopped the video when my son came in and decided what I would do is kind of go through it and sort things. And we have found some really great things in this suitcase. And I'm going to show you a few things. Like here are some older postcards from the 60s, which we will add to our postcard lot. He was very well traveled. His name is Mike Whitley, and some really great things are in here, but not too many postcards. So I have some postcards. Then over here, some really great, there's like a huge stack of, as you can see, just all kinds of greeting cards. And they're also from the 60s, early 60s. I don't think there was anything from the 50s in there, but I definitely know from the 60s. There's also all of the Boy Scout books. We have 3 of them: the bear, the wolf, and the lion. All right, our house is always very busy. So Joe just took the dogs outside because they were making too much noise, and he kept talking. Like, the walls are thin around here. So you probably heard him take the dogs out. But this printing of this bear one was 1958, and I think the others are between 1954 and 1958. So we'll be bringing those up for auction. There were some other school books in here as well that are older, and we'll be bringing these up for auction as well, and they're from the 1950s. There's a whole bunch of letters that I read a few, but these were from when he was in Vietnam. Most of them are from when he was stationed in Fort Bragg. There's a lot of, he went to a Catholic high school, college. He has a very interesting history, which I will read you a little bit of an excerpt from his obituary. There's some things in here that, you know, I just kept for myself because I was a teacher. They're not in great shape, and this I'll keep because it reminds me how things in our education system really hasn't changed a lot up until recently, whenever they decided to do a core. They wanted to do like Common Core, and they changed the mathematics, and oh my gosh, it's so hard even as a teacher to teach Common Core. And I'm glad they're going back to what I used to tell my students was the old-fashioned way of doing math. So we have they just have a lot of different things from his there was a lot of things from his childhood in here as well. Pictures that he had drawn. I didn't keep those memories for auction. I just didn't feel that would probably go over at auction very well, but I did keep things like this, and I'll bring those to auction. One of the things that we did find were some of his military records, and he has had an amazing life, amazing just history with our armed forces. He started out in the Army, ended up in the Navy. I'm going to stop the video now because I'm going to show you some of the ephemera we found from his career in the service, and I will be bringing it up for auction as well. As I was going through his the suitcase, I found some of his service paperwork, and I thought it was just some really neat things, like his this card for the mess hall. There's quite a few of those in here. I'll save this here for last because I thought that was the coolest piece. But we found envelopes. You know, he did kind of climb the ranks while he was in the service. So we found, you know, different blank forms. I really like this envelope from Fort Bragg. So you can see there's just a lot of stuff in here that had to do with his service. The CPR card. There's his paperwork. There's a lot of this I don't know what it is, but requests for leave. There is the Red Cross information. There is also like a card in here on what to do if there is a bombing. There's a whole bunch of these in here. This one's filled out. Movement orders. This one's filled out. He was also stationed in Berlin at one point. A lot of the information we have is from when he was in Berlin. Some cards like this. I know that I've got some people out there that collect this type of ephemera and will know so much more than I do. Very much more. But site plan for Fort Dix. These were sponsor passes. There's a few of those in here. Some more just envelopes. I didn't take those out. Some pictures that he drew. This was really neat for me. It was whenever he first enlisted. This is his laundry list for enlisted personnel. And it goes down, just on down the list. So that was really neat. A receipt from Fort Bragg. I really wish that I would have known what he bought back then. It's just amazing to me, the information that was left in this suitcase. We did find out that his family really didn't take a whole lot. In fact, if you keep up with Auction Zip, there's going to be an auction where they are auctioning off a lot of his memorabilia, his collection from all the way back to the Civil War. Actually Joe got to go up and see it. I didn't, but he was just telling me it's just room after room full of this, just uniforms, helmets, you name it. There was just all kinds of stuff. My lighting changed for some reason. So as you can see, there's just different things here. I love these envelopes. Got this. There's letters in here where he's requesting a transfer. When he lived in Berlin, he needed to learn the metric system. There's a whole bunch of these like forms in there that I was telling you about. Not quite sure what they are. A knockout polio card. He got his immunization when he was a kid. Some letters from the commanding officer for official use only. Let's see. Oh, here they are. I'm not gonna go through everything, but there's a whole bunch of these in here. That was cover letter, and if you read them, it's just really interesting. Let's see. His training records when he received certain training for like rifle, pistol. There's the metric system again. So there was quite a bit of information in here that was very intriguing to us. The last thing that I found, well, it was actually one of the first things I found, but that I wanted to share with you. This is, I already mentioned this. This is a card. I don't know if you can read this. I have a hard time reading it through the camera. air raid instructions. So instructions on what to do if there's an air raid. What I found particularly interesting was this letter regarding President Kennedy. And he was involved in President Kennedy's campaign, and it says, you know, due to the assassination, we regret to inform you, you know, these efforts basically would be stopped. And then we found in here this 1965 inauguration ceremonies, general admittance, preferred standing room on the house side, east in front of the Capitol, that he must have had to present. So all of this stuff will be up for auction. We may put this together as a lot separate, but just tons and tons of information. I really didn't read his letters. I wanted to. I may read some of those just before we put it up for auction. So the military records are really phenomenal. So that pretty much does it for the suitcase. There'll be some surprises. I don't want to show everything, but we will be bringing this ephemera lot to auction. The suitcase is awesome. It's a Samsonite in very, very good condition, considering its age. I hope to see you at the auction and invite people that you know that are interested in ephemera. I want to read from his obituary just to give you the an idea of the caliber of person he was. Just totally amazed. You know, like when you start looking at ephemera, you kind of go down that rabbit hole. And I know I haven't dug hardly deep enough, but I will read part of his obituary so that you can get an idea of the kind of gentleman that he was. Go. Earlier in the video, I shared with you that Michael Whitley had quite a service history in the Army and then again in the Navy. And I wanted to read to you some of his obituary. Obituary of Michael Quentin Whitley. Michael Q. Whitley of Land O'Lakes, Florida, passed away on April 28, 2020 at Advent Health, Wesley Chapel, following a brief illness. Michael was born in Baltimore, Maryland, of February 11, 1950, to William E. Whitley and Shirley Hoxter Whitley. A graduate of Calvert Hall College High School in Baltimore, Michael received his bachelor's and master's degree in psychology from Loyola University in Baltimore, and his PhD in psychology from Virginia Commonwealth University in Richmond, Virginia. He served in the U.S. Army from 1968 to 1971 in Berlin, Germany, as a member of the Army Special Forces. In 1971, he married Julia Van Horbeck Whitley of Clinton, New Jersey. Michael returned to the military in 1978. Upon completion of his PhD and became a clinical psychologist with the Navy at Great Lakes Naval Regional Medical Center in Illinois. He was later stationed in Virginia Beach, Virginia. And eventually selected as the first psychologist of the newly formed Navy SEALs Team 6. He served in that capacity until 1984 and then continued to serve in the Naval Reserves. Following retirement from the Navy as Lieutenant Commander, Michael joined the Foreign Service Corps of federal government, and he lived in Egypt, Pakistan, Israel, and South Africa. while traveling extensively around the world in that position. He was very well traveled. He enlisted right out of high school and then went back to college. There's information in the ephemera that shows that he was actively seeking a position with, I believe, the Department of Defense. He wanted to be on their staff as a psychologist. He was initially turned down to later then become a part of SEAL Team 6. Just an amazing person, just from what we can see in his obituary and the paperwork that we found in his suitcase. Joe and I would like to thank all of our armed forces for their service, whether they are actively serving or a veteran. We should thank our veterans and our military personnel that are currently serving daily, not just on Veterans Day. Thank you, and I hope to see you at the next auction, and hope you enjoyed our video. Please subscribe to our channel for any upcoming auctions or any other videos like this that we may put out. Thank you, and have a great night.